Hello everybody, so today I will talk about calculus. The topic today is about the integral. So now I will show you the technique how to answer the question. First, the question they ask about find I0 and I1. If I equal to 0, so you got about cosine s to the power of 0, so you got about number 1 ds, and you got about s plus c. If they ask about I number 1, you got about the s over cosine s, and you got about the integral of secant of s ds, and you will get about ln of the absolute value of secant of s plus tan s, and we have the absolute value in here, and we put about c is about constant. Next one we need to prove about this, so we got about in, that's about the integral of ds over cosine s to the power of n. So we can put about the integral of ds over cosine s to the power of n minus 2, and we got about cosine s squared in here. So we can use about integration by parts. So we have u equals to 1 over cosine s to the power of n minus 2. So we can put about cosine s to the power of 2 minus n. If we do the integral, if we do about differentiation in here, you got about the u equals to 2 minus n, and this one you got about cosine s to the power of 1 minus n ds. The next one, we have dv equals to cos 1 ds over cosine s squared. So you got about v equal to tan s. So about this one, we can put about u multiplied with v. We have the negative, and this one multiplied with this one. So tan s, we can write about sine s over cosine s. So this is about negative number 1, so you put in here. and you will get about cosine x to the power of negative n, and we have sine x. This one we simplify. Cosine x go in here, you got about negative number 1. For this one, we need to have the sine x, and we need to have the negative in here. So negative, negative, you got about positive, and you got about sine x squared. About sine x squared, we can change about 1 minus cosine x squared. And in this situation, you got about 2 minus n multiplied with the integral of cosine x to the power of 1 minus n s ds, and we have the negative 2 minus n multiplied with cosine x to the power of, we have there's no number 1 in here. You got about cosine 2 minus n ds. So this one and this one, you got about 2 minus n. If we put go in here, you got about n minus 2, and we have positive number 1. The integral of ds over cosine to the power of n s. We keep the same one. Because we have the negative and we have 2 minus n, you got about n minus 2. The integral of cosine n negative n ds. So this one you got about negative number 1. Later that we divide both sides with n minus 1 in here. And this one we change about I n minus 2. This one we change about I n. And that's it, the answer of the question.